Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about two versions of a basic bodyweight box step-up. Box step-up is a very simple activity, but there are some coaching cues that we would like to talk our way through so that we have a foundation to build more complex stepping patterns based off later when we add weight to the idea. We're going to talk about two versions of this: an alternating lead box step-up and a static foot box step-up that helps people work on their ankle, their knee, and their hip strength if they have problems with those areas. We're going to demonstrate this activity 2 times through. The first time we're going to do it with just basic concrete blocks, and then we're going to use a CrossFit stepping box with a 20, 24, and 30-inch side. We're going to demonstrate it both ways because people might have access to different equipment. Concrete blocks are cheap. You're still in the $2 to $3 range for standard concrete blocks, and they come in different thicknesses, which will allow people to start with a small enough step to have good technique and then build up and change the height for a small amount of money. It's a simple idea, but it works very effectively if people have core problems, low back problems, or hip problems. Version 1 of the step up is our alternating lead step up. We are going to say right, left, change lead, left, right, change lead, right, change lead, left, right, change lead. This is a small neurological trick to make sure that people can step up onto an object with each foot. That doesn't seem to everybody like it's a big deal, but to some people, the higher a box gets, the less likely they are to step with one leg, and the more likely they are to have an imbalance in their core later on. So starting from our low, make sure we stress right leg, then we put the weight on our left leg to decelerate us down. The deceleration is often the part that gets people. So we're working back and forth. We're making sure that both legs equally get time to accelerate up and to decelerate down on the control. As the box gets higher and higher, that can become more of an issue. We want to start with a low enough object that we can keep our spine generally vertical. If we are leaning forward to accomplish the task and power up that way, it's going to be a problem when we add kettlebells, clubs, sandbags, or maces later on. Crown to coccyx alignment. Stand up. Squeeze your glutes at the top, push your knees back, stand all the way up. Step down, decelerate without making any noise. No thunking noises when you decelerate down. Controlling the deceleration is half of the equation. Step up with the other side, stand up, straighten your legs out, squeeze your glutes, push your rib cage down. That way when we add weight, all the basics are already there. The second version is a static leg exercise. So accelerate up, decelerate down with the same leg. The most important point is to point our foot straight ahead. No turnout. If you try to do this with turnout, oftentimes people's arch will collapse, or their ankle will roll in, or their knee is not directly over their ankle and not in line with their hip. We would like our ankle, our knee, and our hip to all be in one line. Lock out at the top, squeeze the glute, get down, decelerate slowly so that you're not making any noise, and it's moving at a smooth, steady pace. Work on acceleration, deceleration. You can either do this with a float where the back leg doesn't touch, but sometimes that's very hard for people, especially when we add weight, or we do it with a toe tap where we just touch our toe down to let our brain know exactly where we're at so we can level our hips. Let's demonstrate this now with a CrossFit 3-sided box. A 3-sided box has a 20-inch side, a 24-inch side, and a 30-inch side. The goal is to get up to a 30-inch side if you have the ceiling height for it. But let's start with a 20-inch side so we don't bash our head into the rafters of this barn. Check on the first rep to make sure there's nothing above your head. Right, left, change lead. Left, right, change lead. Right, make sure you're squeezing your glutes at the top, straightening your legs all the way out, all the way down. connect to the ground smoothly and in control. Second version, static leg version. Point your base foot straight ahead. Once your foot is in place, it will not move. Your body will move around the position of the foot, but your foot will not move. Arms in front of you, spine vertical. We don't want our arms down here for now. When people put their arms down, sometimes they lean forward and put their chest on their leg and try to power out of that. Let's try to keep a vertical spine so when we front load this with weight later on, our spine will be in the correct position and we will avoid low back stress. Arms in front, static leg, drive up, toe tap. Straighten the leg all the way out, squeeze the glute, get all the way down. Straighten the leg out, get down, straighten the leg out, get down, straighten the leg out, get down. Of course, do an equal number of reps on the other side. Simple idea, box step up, helps people work on something like Stairmaster or on mountain climbing in a limited space. Two versions we talked about today, the alternating step up, right, left, change lead, left, right, and then the static version, which we often use for people who have collapsed arches, weak ankles, bad knees, or low back pain. We remove the variables by making one foot not move so we can focus on making sure the arch of the planted foot fires effectively so that we can add weight to the system later on without causing joint stress. Key things, we're trying to stand up all the way at the top, the same way we do with kettlebells, same way we do with clubs, the same way we do with barbell. Lock out the legs, straighten it all the way out, squeeze the glutes, drive the rib cage down. Try to make your spine as vertical as possible. Of course, there will be some waver in your spine at some point during the movement as the box gets higher and higher and higher. That's fine, you are learning to deal with it. When we add things like kettlebells, clubs, maces, sandbags, hydro cores later on, they will work through that and they will make the core stronger and stronger and stronger. Step one of training step-ups is always do it without weight. Make sure that the feet are pointed straight ahead, the arches are firing, the knees are directly over the ankles and they're not deviating as you go up. And then we can add weight to the system later on, which will cause the core to fire in a bunch of different ways that you cannot get it to fire without doing step-ups. A lot of people need to start with something below a 20-inch box. They need to start with something like cinder blocks, which are cheap and available everywhere. Make sure you put something down on your floor so that the cinder blocks aren't scratching up your floor if you're not training in a barn like I do. The goal is to keep the spine vertical. The second the box gets so high that your spine starts to deviate, take the height of your box back down, and then you're going to repeat the training again later with load. Simple ideas are effective ideas, and they build these basic human movement patterns so that we can integrate them with everything else later on in training.